Two. Check, check. There we go. Now it's working. That took a second. Oh, we're good to go. Fix this real quick. Hey, Gunner, how you doing? I have a print to show here, and my kids had already broken it. Come on, guys. I gotta at least show this in the video first. Aaron, how we doing? Right there. It's fixed now. Yeah, for some reason we've been taking the RTX audio. Sometimes it doesn't always work. It's annoying. Like, it's so great for audio, but it's annoying when it doesn't work. It is what it is. Can't have both of a great thing, right? Bam. Okay, let me get a drink here. All right, so the thing I really want to talk about is everything I've been working on since the last stream on Monday night. And there was a lot to do because when we left Monday, I still wasn't happy with the results I was getting from the prints. I was still getting stringing or under extrusions or whatnot, and it was just acting very weird. So when I left the stream, I said, you know what? Okay, I'm going to try a different nozzle and see how that goes. So I went ahead onto the Sidewinder X1 and pulled off my the TH3D hardened nozzle. It's a 0.6 millimeter Volcano nozzle, same as what Volcano I'm running on here now. So put that on here. I went and said, okay, I'm going to start a print. So I went ahead and did the Voron test cube. Let me actually get my camera here is not hooked up. So let me do that real quick. I can show you guys a close-up of it. Power that. It's on. How are we working? There we go. Here. Okay, so this is the Voron test cube with just the new nozzle. You can see here at the bottom, it started out really, really well, like really good. No real issues anywhere down there. But then once we came up a little bit more, we started having some issues. We started having under extrusions. So I tried increasing the temperature, lowering the temperature, and it was just like, what in the world? Like, why is that happening? And then I was listening to the extruder as it was kind of doing the top fillage to see. It was very rough, didn't really fill that in properly. I was getting a lot of clicking. No matter what the temperature was at, that extruder just kept on clicking. So I was like, well, that's really weird. This was just a big test. Let's do something a little smaller. So I went ahead and did a smaller cube, which is right here. So here's a smaller Voron cube. There we go. As you can see, it's not really great. Lots of issues going on here. Lots of issues going on here. Couldn't really figure out. And I was like, you know what? I didn't try the new nozzle with a different extruder. So the stock extruder is right here. So this is the clone BMG extruder that came in the Blue Rose BLV MGN kit. And was that you? So this was the one that came in the kit. So I went ahead and took off the extruder off of the Anycubic Anycubic Mega Zero. So it's this clear BMG one, and it seems to have a lot tighter tolerances. It just seems better, more well made, better quality, etc. And then I came out with this cube, right? Where'd it go? Here it is. Came out with this cube. And I had forgotten that my temperature was set too high. So these bottom layers have a little bit of issue. That was actually at 220. Set it down to 210C, and the rest of the print came out pretty well. Not perfect, but I think it's rather acceptable for where we are right now. You can really see this gray really shows any type of inconsistencies in there. This is a, what was this filament? This is a filament 1 gray PLA, but it did fill everything in. You know, top a little rough, a little bit need to, you know, check some things in there. But this ended up being way, way better than what it was before. So I think I've kind of decided that only replacing the nozzle was half the problem. It's also going to be replacing the extruder here. So I'm going to go ahead and buy, I asked in the Discord what people like for BMG clones, and it seemed to be that the Triangle Labs is the best BMG clone. That runs, I think, $33, $34, something like that. The 11/11 sale is coming up on pretty much every Chinese website. That's their Black Friday. So I'm gonna wait until the 11th and go ahead and order in a new BMG extruder. So this one has to go back to the Mega Zero anyways. So I need to get a new one for here. But this was kind of just to prove the concept of it. So we'll see if that one is any better. Again, people are even saying here in the chat again, I think it will be better. Hope it will be better, and kind of can go from there. I do have a BMG clone still down here on Master Crane that I still needed to do some more prints with that printer, but I could take that one off and try and see if that's any better or not. I'm not really convinced what I'm going to do, but it's working, which is great. It'll be 25. Okay, good to know, Adam. I have it in my cart, sitting there waiting. So I decided to kind of go full ham and try a print that you really shouldn't do with a 0.6mm nozzle, and that is the Eiffel Tower here. So I'll show you close up. The inner scaffolding of it is not great just because of it's a 0.6mm nozzle. I've printed this larger with a 0.4mm nozzle on the Folgertech 2020 i3. It's fantastic. It actually still sits upstairs on my wife's shelf. She really liked when we were in Paris. We visited Paris, so I made her an Eiffel Tower for that. But this one didn't turn out bad for the simple fact that it did complete all of the printing. It printed all of this little lattice that's in there. Again, it's not great looking because of the large nozzle, but it did print everything, which is what I wanted to see. What is it going to be on like a super extreme test for this? I would never print anything like this on this ever again. I really just wanted to see how will it do. Let's see here. So gears known, trying using full runs. I'm getting another volcano kit, like 15 the nozzles too. Maybe I'll check that out, Adam from Triangle Labs. So let's go to the DSLR here again and show you guys. You can see maybe it's. Whoop! I turned the camera off. That's stupid, Shane. Okay, off. Back on. Sorry about that. Turn that down a little bit. Zoom this in a little bit. Okay, so you can see here in the lattice, you can see how it's a little rough in there. Most of the stringing is gone. There's a little bit of wisping in there, but I can deal with that because, again, this is like an insane torture test on this printer. And even up in here, it's a little blobby in there, but everything did complete. And this is also printed really fast. This entire thing, so this is 200, I scaled it up to be almost as big as I could go. So this is 290 millimeters. This was 5.5 hours. This thing was going so bleeding fast. It was insane to watch. And that is also why it just turned out why it turned out not to be so perfect. But that's okay. Again, super duper crazy, extreme test here, but it did work. And then this is where one of my daughters threw it because I gave this one to my son to use with his train set. She threw it and broke it, so I just had to glue this right here real quick. But either way, it did work, and I was very pleased to see that it can do something like that. I want to do some more testing still. I'm going to wait till I get some more parts in. But I am glad at least that I do have a better understanding of the volcano, a better understanding of Prusa Slicer, I have a better understanding of the BMG extruders that are going into here. Definitely was a huge learning curve in there. Yeah, the retractions are really close, I would say, because on the good cube, where'd the good cube go? On the good cube, I can't actually find the retractions on the outside, to be honest. This looks way better in person on camera, because on camera it really shows every little individual little blip, but like this little cube looks really good, but I can't actually find the retractions. So I think I did end up getting them pretty spot on, unless Pure Slicer just hid them somewhere. Oh, there's some on the inside. Where's the outside ones at? Yeah, but that's okay. I am still very happy with where it's going right now. Still, again, a couple things that need to finish up on it, but we're getting a lot closer than was last week. Did I check the beard's bag shoes theory aligned to match the throat? I did add them because everyone said to open it up and actually check them out. Everything looked to be okay when I pulled it out, because someone had showed me actually their gears actually look good. I actually don't think it's the gears that's the problem. I think it is the housing, because this housing feels super duper chintzy, to say the least. Like this is definitely like a $3 BMG clone. It really is. But the clear one from Anycubic just feels so much more robust. Like there's no like, even if I move this around, shaky, moving it, everything kind of moves in a weird way, and it's not really like tight. This one is tight. Like everything in there feels good. It feels like it belongs in the place that it's at. This just feels like there's a lot of slack in it. So that's I just don't know. But it did. The one thing people said is to when you pull it out, to ensure that your the gears that are gripping are aligned, and then obviously that the gears are in line for the filament to go through. That was all lined up in this. I did find though that let's see if I can get this open. Okay. So when I was originally testing this, I did find that this gear right here was loose on this pin that's hooked up to the big hob gear. That was loose, that was slipping. So I thought, oh, that's the problem right there. Bingo, I got it. No, that did not actually solve anything. I did tighten it up so it doesn't slip anymore now. At least I can't do it with my hands, but the gears honestly do look good. They feel good. I can feel the tread in them. They feel no worse than the clone ones I've been buying for all of the bear extruders. I've put together 4 bear extruders now, and with cheap gears, and they all working great. It was never the gears that were the problem on those printers, and they all look and feel just like these ones. So what I might end up doing is just saving these gears for another printer that I'm going to use a bare extruder on, and just have these extra gears. I really do think these gears are good. I think it's just the rest of how all of this is going together is where the problem is. And it wasn't stripping out at all. That was another concern that someone had asked me, if it's just grinding away the filament. Not at all. I actually didn't grind any filament at any time, which I was happy to see, because that's, again, it's a big concern, is that it's just eating away at your filament as it's trying to extrude it. So again, I can't really nail it down exactly why this is so bad, but it just is. It might also have to do with the play in it. Like I said, the play. So if I show you, let me switch this to the other camera, it'll be easier to see. So looking in here from the top, just here sitting at empty, this gear moves a ton. I don't know if it's supposed to do that. If I put filaments in, let me snip this real quick. Where's my snips at? There they are. Come here. If I throw some filament in here. Okay. It doesn't move anymore. Again, it is lined up. So if I put it in right there where it belongs, it lines up there. But the problem I'm seeing is that there is this gap behind the, there's a gap behind this. So if the filament's not in there, I can pull this gear down more. And then it's no longer aligned inside. Really can't see that, sorry. But the where's my flashlight at? I don't know where I went. But either way, but then if I push it forward, okay, then it's all lined up in there. But again, there's still that gap in the back. And this one, I don't think there's a gap there. I think there's an extra plastic washer or something behind this gear that keeps this in place of where it's at. So I do really think it's this thing here. It's not the rest of the extruder. Because everything feels good once it's in there and lined up properly. Everything feels good. But no, Aaron's not missing a bearing. Whoops, it's got the bearing in the back. Where'd that bolt go? All the bearings I think are there. Let's pull that out. What's the part? So it's got the bearing in the front housing. So you can see that down in there. And then here on the back housing, there is the bearing in there as well. But it almost seems like there needs to be a flange or a washer of some sort on the back side of this so that it sits properly in here, because it's not supposed to be all the way down and in. It's supposed to be off a little bit in that bearing. So I really do think that it's the housing on this extruder that is the problem, not the gears. It's just, again, just a poorly made housing for it. But again, clearly we kind of found out that putting a different BMG in definitely gives me better results. I don't know if it's perfect results, but I'm definitely going to get a better one to see how it goes. So I'm catching up on chat now. Triangle Labs is releasing a Chimera clone. That's interesting. Jake from State Farm, what's up, dude? Wolfgang's here. Hello, hello. Gunner says just try replacing the gear, the bearing. Yeah, I just think I'm gonna call it a day on this one. Take the gears out and leave it at that. I will order a new one and kind of go from there. For now, I am gonna keep the Anycubic one on here because I do want to do just again some more testing. I just need to find. I don't have anything large I need to print right now, which is why I built this to quickly build large objects accurately. Because yeah, the X1 does an okay. The the Alphawise X1 does an okay job. It does print fairly fast with a large nozzle. Again, it also rocks the 0.6. Right now it rocks nothing because the 0.6 is on this printer. But I do want to see if putting one of the clone nozzles, or cheapo nozzles I have on the X1, see if that changes any of the print quality there. Because it might not actually have been the nozzle all along, and it just could have still been that extruder all along. Just me tweaking some things here and there, kind of make it what it is now. So I'd say I got a lot of gray hair from this one. This one was really, really tricky to figure out. I'm assuming that I've figured out the whole problem, but it's still really hard to tell if I did or not. But yeah, I think it's definitely a step in the right direction of what I was hoping to accomplish and get through. So now it just means finish, replace this out, make sure that it still works again once I get this replaced, and then go ahead and start doing paneling. I do need to do the electronics panel first. So I'm going to get that, lay it out, lay all the parts on it, see how everything goes, and go from there. What else was there? I might need to buy some different filament. I'm using a HTPLA for the diffusers, and they're kind of melting and deforming from the heat of the 12-volt LEDs, which is no bueno. So I need to find something a little stronger. I do have some, it's a very soft white polycarbonate. So I might try that and see if that can hold up to the heat a little better and not deform. I don't have any, actually no, I'm sorry. This is Raptor PLA. This is a very old roll. This clear is a very old roll of clear Raptor PLA from Maker's Geeks, which is very strong, but heat resistant, not so much. So that's kind of where I'm at, or maybe I might have another roll of clear PETG around somewhere. Have to dig through the bins. I thought I got rid of all of it because I hate clear PETG because it's pretty dumb. But I'm not a big clear filament fan. But I'm thinking maybe white because this is super duper bright. But it does, I mean, it does work out and look really, really good. If we go here, here, if I turn down my exposure here, whoop, not up, down my exposure, it really does give your project a nice light to it. You know, so as it would be printing, I could be focused in on that, and it does look really nice. So I am happy with that. I still have to get these the front LEDs. I did order the switches, but they are not here yet. It'll be a month or so until those get here, and then I can get these front two powered. I'm running them off of a separate switch. Yeah, what else was here? Didn't say much about the Hermera clone other than it being out this month. Interesting, Adam. I do have the Hermera now, thanks to Brandon. I'm putting it on I'm going to make a large Bear Mara. Oh, someone had asked the other day, I wanted to address that. So someone asked the other day why I'm not using, or why I haven't used the TH3D Easy Board on the on any of my projects yet. So I actually went ahead and was talking to Tim the other night, and I asked him, I was like, hey, like, what do you think about letting me use one of your Easy Boards in there? And he's like, well, as long as you don't need any more than 4 motors. And I was like, oh, all right, well, that limits a lot of my calibration that I do because I need 5 steppers. And the reason why you need 5 steppers is because even in here, 5 steppers or 5 stepper drivers, so I can do Z-align. You can't do Z-align if you have both your motors off of the same stepper driver because it doesn't know which one it's controlling. It's just controlling both at the same time. There's no other logic there. But if you have them on 2 different stepper drivers like I have here, you can do Z-align, which really helps out. I also did figure out how to put Z-align into my startup G-code. So now when I start a print, it heats up the bed to 60C. It then does a Z-align, so it probes each side 5 times, or does 5 iterations of probing back and forth, making sure the Z is level across. Then it does G29, which does my 5x5 probing. Then it primes the nozzle. Well, then after it does the 5x5, it homes to the front corner here, preheats to whatever I tell it to, does my prime line, and then starts the print. So really, really works out well. I've been really happy with that startup G-code now. I need to tweak my prime line just a little bit because it kind of goes like a V. I guess some of my numbers are wrong. I wanted to be 2 straight lines, a millimeter apart from each other. But that is the one little thing that I still need to adjust there. Z height, very easy to adjust now. And so I'm happy with the progress I've made with the startup G-code and things like that. It's been really nice to have that there. Wolfgang's accident. So this tower, 290 millimeters tall, took 5.5 hours to do. I had it set to a max of 100 millimeters a second. I think it was printing on average about 80 in order to get that speed, but it is, it's not a huge print. I mean, it's sizable, but it's not enormous. Let's see, the feet are, it is 130 by 130 on the base here. And yeah, I set this height to 290. I just did a universal scale on Prusa Slicer, set Z to 290, and the rest scaled up as well. So I do wish that I would have got this a little bit taller. I would have liked to have 400 on the Z instead of 300 on the Z, but I'm okay with that. I do 290 just to be safe. I think I can get 310 actually in here. But again, I kind of like to play it safe because you can see right now I'm just getting behind the front panel here on here. So, but again, that's okay. I don't always print really tall things. It's just when I do, I can just use the X1, I guess, because that has a 400Z. Dad's here. How you doing, Dad? What else was there? Okay, so also been talking in the Discord about a few things with the admins on just kind of direction I want to go with the printer. A lot of people have asked me why I'm not using the Duet clone, because the Duet clone's only 50 bucks. So, Adam, there shouldn't be too much Z wobble since the Z only goes up and down. That's a nice thing about a Core XY or a Voron. Voron's the bed is stable at the bottom and the gantry moves up. With this, Z wobble really isn't a thing because the bed's not moving. Unlike a Cartesian, you are going to get a lot of wobble in there. But again, I did want it to be a little bit taller, but again, that's okay. I'll make it work. But anyway, so we were talking a lot about the where am I at here? About the Duet 2 clone and why I hadn't gone that route. Well, because again, it's 50 bucks. I was able to get the 1.3 came with the kit, and I really didn't want to buy anything else for it. But now, after kind of tuning this and people telling me how good that is, I think I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet and buy the Duet Wi-Fi. What's it called here? I have it here in the cart. I don't. Where'd it go? Yeah, so it's the MakerBase Duet 2 Wi-Fi clone with the screen is 80 bucks. And I'm actually going to go ahead and get it because I can. Might as well do it. I'm going to get it with a 7-inch screen, which will take up this entire panel piece here. I don't actually know if I can still have the accent piece in here. I need to look at the remix part for it though. But it looked really nice to have just an enormous screen. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go that route and get that because everyone says that tuning it is better. And I kind of want to see, is it really worth the extra money? Now, granted, the SKR 1.3 is 20 bucks. But when you buy the 5 2209 drivers, you're going to paying $55 for everything because they're about $5 a piece for those $5 to $7. Depends on when you buy it or where you buy it from. But 2209s from Big Tree Tech are anywhere between $5 and $7 a piece. So you're looking at $55 for the board and that, and then another, I think it was $30 for the screen. So they're honestly, when I like sat down and thought about it, they're literally the same price. The clone, Duet 2 Wi-Fi, and the SKR 1.3. So I did see that Wolfgang. I hadn't really tried out yet. I really wanted to just get the thing working and printing and going somewhere with it before I did anything crazy. So, but again, just seeing how many people are using it and looking at the cost difference. Now, granted, mine again came with the kit. I didn't have to buy anything else. The screen came with the kit, and the board came with the kit. So it wasn't any extra money for me to do what I did here. This is extra money though. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give that a try. I also found a lot of people were talking about the mellow yellow mosquito clones. Apparently are fantastic from what I've heard from a few people now. So they go down on sale on 11/11 for $29 for the Magnum and $27 for the Standard. I'm going to go ahead and get one of each of those to try out and see if those are any better, because I've heard they are better than the V6 or a V6 Volcano. The nice thing about the Magnum is that it will I will actually gain some of my Z height back by using the mellow hot end. I don't know if there actually is a part cooling fan for it for the BMG, for the BLV MGN. Don't know, so I need to figure that out as well because I don't know what it might actually be V6 height, but it's Magnum. So it'd be higher flow, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up one of each of those to try out and see how we go on there. What is DPT have to do with Magnums or the Mosquito? Adam's asked if I tried a Dragon Pot it. I have not, but I have one here in the cart as well. It's going to be $29.11. I'm going to go ahead and try one of them. That is their, I couldn't find the high flow one. They had one on Amazon for $50, but it's no longer sold. This is a standard one that I might use on a different printer. I was grabbing one just because I wanted to try one out. But I'm going to see if Amazon has it or not. Hot end. So they do have the Fetus blue one, which is $90 for the hot end. Not paying that. That's too much money there. But there was the one that everyone was talking about, and it's no longer on sale. They have the standard one. I think it was from Go 3D Print is the ones that was selling it on Amazon. I can't even find that one anymore. That's the Fetus. I hope I'm saying their name right. I don't know. Where's it at? Where's my history? No, that's not what I wanted. I don't even see that one on here anymore, the standard one. But either way, there was one on Amazon. It no longer is there, so crud. Need to look at something different then. But I have a standard one I found on AliExpress, but I have not found a high flow one on there. I heard the Triangle Labs Dragon was not great, but that was a single source. So this one is Seal. Dragon Hot End. The one from Triangle Labs, high flow, is 77. It'll be 67 on the 7-Eleven sale. Or I'm sorry, 11-11 sale. 7-Eleven. The numbers are getting mixed up in my head there. But that was really the only one that does high flow. It does work for you good, Adam. Again, I've only had a single source on my Discord that said that they did not have a good time with the Triangle Labs one, but the red one, I can show you this here. Where are we at here? So the red one, there we go. The red one here is what I have in my cart right now. They said that one actually worked out really well, and I think also Brandon has this one. A few other people said they have the red one and that it works out well for them. So, you know, there's another one here. There's a few other ones. I didn't know the brands. They are cheaper, but I didn't know if I should trust them because I don't know. I've never heard of the brands before. So this one is this Zanyapar Dragon Hot End kit. High flow is 51. I don't know if it's any good or not because I've never heard of it. I've never heard anybody talking about it either. It has 2 reviews on it, which are, you know, not really great. And I don't know if I really want to spend $50 on a 2 review thing and not know if it's any good. I really don't know. Tail's the most consistent. Well, maybe I'll try that one out and go from there. Yeah, I don't know if maybe it's just new, but it's got 2 5-star ratings from that's Spain. What's red, white, red? AT. Not Argentina. I don't know. either way, it's got two reviews on it, so I'm not really sure. Yeah. So just kind of have to decide which way I want to go, which one I want to pick up for that. I did find they also had, so this Dragonfly one looked kind of crazy. Mellow has some pretty interesting looking hot ends on their site. They've got like this like skinny one here that's just really crazy looking. I never saw anything like that one before. I think they had like 4 or 5 different ones. Oh yeah, they also had this one here. This is like a flat one. I think this is supposed to be like a CR10 one because I think it has the same mounting that Crowdy uses. And this is supposed to be like Mellow's replacement for that. But it's a high flow, it's a volcano style. But yeah, very, very, very different looking hot end here for this. I mean, reviews are non-existent on it. So yeah, just very, very different from what I've ever seen. I think it's CR10 spacing, 13 millimeters inside there. Don't quote me on that, but I just think that's what it is. I did see the Big Tree Tech mixing hot end. That does look interesting, yeah. Yeah, this actually would be interesting to try with I mean, if this is like CR or Ender spacing, trying one of these on the CR10 and seeing how that works out, because that might actually be a decent upgrade. What are they doing on here? Oh, that's a snapped off one. Because I still have my CR10S, and I haven't gotten rid of that yet. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but that is still my only large format with a 0.4 millimeter nozzle, so I can print large but very detailed prints. So that's kind of why I kept that one at a 0.4, but the Fortech FT5 I've kept at a 0.4 because that's my fully enclosed printer. So I want to keep that as a smaller hardened nozzle with it's a micro Swiss nozzle on there, so I can print anything at any temp on that printer, no issues at all. Just send it and go, and it works. So I do really like having that set up for that. The CR10S as a large format but small nozzle. Then I have a large format with a 0.6, and now I have a Core XY with a 0.6 once this fully gets tuned in and ready to go. So again, interesting, see how it goes. But like I said, those are kind of the things that I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up to try out and see how they end up going. But look at these NF Hunt. Yeah, Jonathan. Honestly, when I looked through Mellow the other day, because again, I put their mosquitoes in the cart, I was like, what else do these guys have? Like, I'm just kind of curious. And they have several different hot end. Let me look here again here, show you guys. So here's the Mellow store. So they have the NF Zone V6, and then they have the NF Zone Volcano. So again, it still has that very odd, different looking cold end or heat sink, if you want to call it here. And then they have this one for the CR10. So this uses the CR10 heater block, but it is same spacing. So I guess it is then, but this is just a swap out replacement for your CR10. It'll be all metal. This is probably the biggest competitor to this is the Micro Swiss all metal, because Micro Swiss partnered with Crowley to create the all metal version for them, which I have on. What did that one go on? I think that went on my CR10. I don't think the CR10S has that one. I had one of those on a printer. I don't remember what printer it went onto now though. Yeah, then they have their different NF Zone heat breaks. Of course, they have their BMGs. Again, people were saying their BMGs are good. Maybe I'll pick one up as well, because it would be nice to have another one around. Oh, here's some other ones here. So this is like the skinny V6, which is crazy. Then this is another CR10 style one here. This is another, so that's a Volcano V6. Here's a standard V6 one with a very skinny one. And then here is a standard V6 clone. Then they have the mosquitoes. They have mixing mosquitoes, which are insane. Like really, I don't know if I'm crazy into a mixer yet, but that the BMG Wind, yeah. I don't think it's going to be necessary, but they have it. Then they have the all metal CR10. So this is the actual Creality version of the hot end. And then they're all their V6s. They got some other crazy ones in here, Chimeras. Here's an old school Magic Dragon duel. More of the Creality ones as well there. And then just parts and stuff like that. But again, this store really piqued my interest with the honest originality of some of these hot ends, because you don't really see this very much, to be honest. Like everyone's running a V6 or a V5 if you're Anycubic. They're still running V5s on a lot of their older stuff. Or it's Creality with their little chintzy hot end, which I really think is horrible. But it's interesting to see another company have something different. Well, I mean, you have Slice. Obviously, they were different, which everyone's now cloning that because $200 for a hot end is ridiculous. I have not seen a Copperhead clone, but I think that was what someone was calling the Dragonfly. I think maybe that was, where is it at? Express here. I think it was Triangle Labs. The Dragonfly is the Copperhead clone for them. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna try and find it again. Where was it at? And Triangle Labs is very hit or miss. Again, I've had some pretty bad stuff from Triangle Labs. I've had some good stuff from Triangle Labs. It's very, very hit or miss, to be honest. Let me see if I can just search Dragonfly. Yeah, here it is. So I think, is this a Copperhead clone? They have this BMO and BMS version. So it's I'm guessing this one is the Creality version because it has the mounting holes, and this is just a V6 version of it. So I'm not quite sure if this is supposed to be a Copperhead clone or inspired Copperhead, but also very different looking. This is the new dragon. Okay. Well, the new dragon is cheaper than the old one. Let me catch back up here on chat. The heat break bimetal. I don't know on these. It just says it's the NF heater, so it's a copper aerospace materials, and it's copper. It looks like the main throat is something different, or it's coated at least. I'm guessing it's bimetal. I don't really know there. Let's see. So a bunch of trunk steam machines, and they all look straight up. Oh, okay. Oh, that's new. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread your thing though. This is the Copperhead this is the Fetus Copperhead. Yeah, I saw Fetus on the right here on the front there. Fetus. Oh, nice Viking. Yeah, I did see their screen on there. I might reach out to them actually and see if they want to hook up some stuff for me to try out on different printers. I think it might be fun to kind of play with it. It is interesting you say that, Adam. It is interesting because the design is ever so slightly different than a straight up knockoff Copperhead. I actually debated the Copperhead for a little while. I was actually really thinking about getting one. I was like, that might be fun to try out. But then I saw Tom's video, and it's $180 for everything, and I was like, nope. I can get another ANET A8 Plus for that money. for a single hot end. I cannot. Like that is really for the elitists of 3D printing to spend that much money. I said it before. It is really for the elitists of 3D printing to spend that much money just on a hot end. I'm sorry. It is ridiculous amounts of money. It looks like they're kind of over-engineered. Yeah, it might be over-engineered a bit. Who knows? But again, it is nice to see something different. I really do like a V6 though. But if I try out some of these other ones and they end up working as well, if not better, then why not use that instead then? Steven, I don't think Slice will, to be honest. And again, I can't. That kind of stuff is so expensive. Like, it really is. I mean, if they want to sponsor me something, sure, I'll try the stuff out. I mean, I'm not gonna deny someone sending me something like that because I will never have the opportunity to test out something like that unless someone sends it to me. It's 100% true. Look at I have the Hemera here that Brandon sent me. The only way I have to be able to try that out is because someone decided, hey, Shane's cool, I'm going to send him one to try out. And I'm going to use it. But it's just, I cannot justify myself purchasing something like that to you. I just cannot. If they want to send me one, by all means, I will check it out. The Copperhead or their Mosquito Magnum. I'll put a Mosquito Magnum on here if they send it. If they send a Mosquito Magnum, I'll put it on the BLV. Well, that's Aaron said. The market for those is so small too. Is that, I mean, a V6 pretty much anyone can afford. You know, if you have some of the other parts like heaters and things like that, you can get a V6 for like 35 bucks. Very different. Shh. Way out. I don't get what you're saying there, Steven. Yeah, I'll keep nagging Pepsi. Still not a sponsor. So if I get Pepsi to sponsor me, hey, I can print anything. I can build anything I want then. Maybe I'll reach out to them. I mean, I've really stopped reaching out to companies. If anybody wants to send me something and they've seen my content, by all means, feel free to contact me. But I've kind of stopped. It was way too exhausting to follow up on emails and badger people, find the proper emails. It's kind of how you get started to get sponsors and get things sent to you. But I'm kind of at the point where if you really want me to show off your stuff, I will. I'm not a big channel though. I'm not, Joel or Angus or any of them. No one's sending me $38,000 printers. I also don't want $38,000 printers. But I mean, it's just like that. Like I don't know. It's getting really old bugging and begging the companies to hook me up with stuff. It gets really old. It really does. Maybe I'll send them an email and see what happens. All right, Gunner. Do the do. Well, Jonathan, a lot of the things that I do on the channel is on a budget because I know that literally 99% of my audience is the budget audience. Again, I'm not showing off the top tier stuff. Number one, I don't get the top tier stuff, so I can't. But also, I know that section of people is so small. There's not a broad audience. Can I get? It's just kind of the way it is. I'm happy to show things off and check them out or use them. But at the end of the day, I'm like, hey, this is fantastic. Go and buy. You know when people buy that? It's hard enough people to buy clone stuff through my affiliate links. You really think people are going to buy, you know, $180 hot ends from my affiliate links, something like that? No. No, how many people buy printers through my affiliate links? It is such a saturated market right now. I also don't push affiliate links. I say they're in the bottom and they're down there and that's it. You know, I don't like post them all over Twitter or Facebook groups like, hey, here's all these, go buy this, go do that. Like, I don't do that. It's exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting as a content creator, to constantly nag people and keep pushing affiliate links left and right, left and right. If people use them, fantastic. I can do more cool things. If they don't use them, then I don't get to do so cool things. I think Aaron, he's just showing off something that's really cool that none of us will ever afford. To be frank, that printer is 1.5 times the price of my minivan, and I have a 2017 minivan. Like, I have a newer car, and that costs 1.5 times more, almost twice as much actually, almost twice as much as I paid for my 6-month-old minivan when I bought that. Oh, that's good to hear, Steven. I mean, like I said, I'll reach out to them, see what they say. If they're willing to do it and hook it up, fantastic. You know, I mean, LDO hooked me up on Megatron. They said they were going to hook me up on the other, on the Bear. I haven't received any from them yet. I need to reach out to them again, but they said they were going to sponsor that one as well. I like their motors. They're good stuff. Again, I'll try, but it's just, it is exhausting to reach out to companies all the time and beg and beg and beg. Like, hey, please, sir, can I have some? Well, see, PC is a little, everyone has computers. I've got my gaming rig here. I got my VR rig in the living room. I'm getting ready to rebuild that. But that's just, I mean, I use that literally every single day. Printers, yeah, I use, but their usability is nothing compared to a computer. So that's why people will spend more on them. So John is saying, I started home automation. Automated sensors, 3D printers. That sounds fantastic. I'd love to see that. But yeah, I mean, again, I think Joel is just showing that off as a, hey, look at this really, really cool 3D printer. But no one's buying that. Like, no one is. So I think he's purely going off it for the views and not the revenue from someone buying it through an affiliate link, which is, I rely a lot on that. Like, I buy all the stuff. Again, I make the money through Patreon and affiliate link usage, but I take that money, I buy stuff. Like, again, I'm looking at these hot ends, I'm looking to do a clone, things like that. I'll post links for that below once I buy them. And if I try them, people decide to use the links, then great, I make a little bit of money back. Like, it's spend money to make money. That's kind of how it goes. And I spend every penny that I make on YouTube. I actually just finally got my, I hadn't checked out AliExpress for a while, my affiliate linkage there. So I'm looking to buy some cool things, which is some of this stuff I'm buying now, but I'm kind of looking, okay, what's something that's a little more expensive that I don't have the money for right now? I am looking at a Prusa Mini clone because I can use the money for that. I'm looking at picking up another Bear frame so that I can, because I want to do, I saw Jim Steller's Slimera, he called it, with this sweet looking green extrusion, and really, really thought it looked fantastic. So I want to get one of those green extrusion kits, and it's through AliExpress. So I want to pick that up. So I think I'm going to use the money for some stuff like that to have a little more content for later in the year. There's Jim. But yeah, so then I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of that extrusion. And maybe I'll try one of these different hot ends on it. You know, who knows? Adam is saying the 5,000. Yes, I was literally about to hit buy on my thing, but I'm going to wait for the Ryzen 7 5800X is the same price as the Ryzen 9 3800 XT. Now the 3800 XT is a 12 core. The 5800X is only an 8 core. So I'm waiting to see the benchmarks on that one and how it compares to the 12 core. Because I think I want to get the 12 core, more cores, a little bit better for VR gaming, which is, this rig is strictly VR gaming. And I'm going to keep my 2080 in there until 3080 Ti's become a little more accessible. I think they're a good price at like $750, but I think I'm going to have to wait to get one of those until next year because they're sold out everywhere either way. But it would be cool to get one of those. Going up back here a little bit. So Crow was saying, I think Joel was a giant black lad, loves 3D printers, showcase. Yeah, Crow, I agree with that 100%. It is very interesting to see, you know, crazy stuff that he shows off. Some of it's really cool. But again, the relatability to a lot of that content is very, very low. Oh, Brandon, they came out. I have not. My internet's been down literally all day. I got it working not even an hour before I started the stream. I did some testing in it, make sure that it's up to speed. We've been going without any hitch here, which has been great. But I have not had any time to look at today at any of the benchmarks that came out so far. So, oh, you think Jonathan says Joel's overreactive? LDO can do colored extrusion. Oh, interesting, Viking. I'll have to check that out. Jim, thanks for $5. Gunner, thanks for the iskies. Well, I guess I'll wait and see how the new Red Series comes out. I've not really, I don't know. I have never really been an AMD fan. I had an AMD processor way back in the Athlon days, and they ran so hot back then. I just haven't got back into it. Both mine are Intel rigs. And for the productivity for when I bought this 9700K, works out great, does everything I needed to do, but it's just paired with an older 1080. So if anything, I'll buy a 3000 series, or maybe I'll end up getting one of the new AMD cards and putting the 2080 in this rig instead. So I haven't really decided what to do with that yet. Vorons are expensive. Adam, the Voron was literally on the plate when I decided this, because I was talking to the Discord trying to figure out, okay, what is something that would be interesting to build? There's a lot of people building Vorons though. I decided the BLV because not many people are building it. And I kind of wanted to be a little more unique in my content, and I really wanted to try it out because there's not a lot of there's just Ben's documentation on it, and there's very few videos about it. So I think it's been fun kind of documenting and learning and going through everything for this has been interesting to learn. And it's been different. Again, something different to kind of play with. Yeah, again, after seeing a lot of AMD's new things, you know, more cores are better, more threads are better for VR gaming. So that's kind of why I'm leaning more towards that. Again, a little more budget friendly as well. Try not to break the bank. Reusing my power supply, reusing. I already have some RAM. I already have fans. I'm going to get a new case. My case is too big, and I'm going to go air cooled on that one. I'm just going to have one water cooled rig now because the upkeep on that has been so much. So I think I'm just going to go air cooling on the VR rig and let that just put some real powerful fans in there, and it'll work out well. Yeah, you went the Voron because it's huge screen. Yes, Voron is very well documented. Aaron was showing me some of the Voron build manual, and it looks so polished. It looks so good. But yeah, it was definitely also a little more pricey than I wanted. I wanted to keep a build under 1,000. This is getting a little bit more than that now because having to replace parts, nozzle, replacing the BMG, I'm going to replace the board and LCD. So it is starting to stack up now more than I wanted it to. I did used to be on magazine covers back in the day. I only had one magazine cover and had one feature, so one of each. If you were a PC enthusiast in the early 2000s, you would have seen me in my computer modding days when I used to do a lot of that. But now that was also a lot less kids, or no kids back then, so I had a lot more time to do that kind of stuff. But now with 3D printing and designing and YouTube, maintaining high-end rigs ends up being a little bit time-consuming. So, and I feel like I waste an entire night. I'm not having fun troubleshooting a leak or something like that in one of the rigs if I'm spending so much time working on that. So, yeah, again, the 5000 series, I'm going to probably, once I get done with the stream, I'll bring up a couple videos and watch that for a bit and see how it's going, because I've been debating on waiting, but if the benchmarks are not that much better than the 3800 XT, I'm just going to get that one instead, because it still knocks everything out of the water that I would be considering on Intel for the price. It's $450. But I'm wondering if I should wait and see if the price comes down a little bit. The other issue is that the 5000 series, the amount of boards that support it is almost none, because they all need a BIOS update. And you can't update the BIOS without a CPU in it. So I'm a little bit worried that if I go ahead and buy there's a new Asus board I was looking at. I'm going to Asus board with a 3000, but if I get a 5000 series chip, the board doesn't have the BIOS in it. So I have to buy both. I had to buy both chips in order to update for the 5000 series. So I just have to kind of see what to do on that one. Viking was big into overclocking, phase coolers. Oh, that's pretty cool. Andrew, how you doing? Yep, I will check out some benchmarks tonight. Again, I'm gonna kind of breeze through Ally here a little bit more and see if there's anything else that I kind of want to try. But I'm down to 2 projects right now, well, that are actually running. So finishing up this build and then doing the Ultra Magnus conversion. This is going probably, I want to do a few more prints on it, I think this weekend, and it's going to leave the office for a little bit. I need to get it out of the way and out of sight so I can work on other things. And the other builds will be probably Christmas or later. I still need to print all the parts for those. And I have 2 other builds there that some friends want to build a custom printer. So I'm going to putting those kits together for them as well. And they're almost complete, but I need to verify my BOM. I think I have everything properly. I did just get some bearings here recently for them. And I just need to confirm that I have all the parts in there. Everything's good to go. I did finally get the palm lead screw nuts for those as well. The 4 starts, I needed those. I didn't have any, so I ended up getting those in. And I need to ask them on the colors that they want so I can go ahead and print all of the parts. They're going to be Megatron style printers, because they're going to be using 2020 extrusion with some 2040 mixed in there. Actually, no, they're full 2020 builds, because they have the new feet that Aaron designed for that. Oh, Alex, thank you, buddy. Thanks for the $20 for that, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, so that's kind of the 2 major ones right now. The Optimus Prime build will be a little bit later. On Optimus Prime is going to be a Megatron build, but bigger. So it's going to be up to 300 on the Z, instead of right now. That one is, I think, 280 or 265. I think it's a little bit bigger than a bear. But Optimus Prime is going to be bigger. It's going to have a Hemera on it. Thanks to Brandon for hooking that up. And yeah, I think that's everything for that build. I also need to just verify my extrusion cuts, because I need to cut all the extrusion for that as well. So, none, Andrew. I was just talking about what I did here on the printer, kind of looking at some stuff on Ally, what I want to pick up, some things I want to test out and what's coming up. Kind of STS stuff right now, so. Yeah, almost to the Duet clone gunning. You're right. But yeah, I think it's gonna be fun to kind of try out some of these other things. Hey, Jonathan, don't worry. I've got an army of printers. They're gonna be printed all in PETG, and I'm gonna do per Aaron's suggestion. I'm doing the part cooling fan shrouds in ABS. So I do have black ABS here that I'll be printing those in. But that I think I do have a couple other colors here too. I got to see what colors that they want to print the printers in. I still also need to figure out what I'm going to do Optimus Prime's colors in, because Ultra Magnus is red, white, and blue. But I mean, Optimus is also red, white, and blue, but I don't know if I want to do red, white, and blue for that. I don't know. I might do silver, blue, white, and a little bit of red mixed in there, or silver as like a accent. I don't know yet. I need to just clone the Megatron build in Fusion 360 and play with some coloring and kind of see what I like and go from there. But Ultra Magnus is ready to go. I just have to kind of get there. Still not there yet. But I do appreciate the offer. I really do. It also would take like several weeks for your parts to get to me. And I know I'm a procrastinator, but that's a little longer than I really want. What else was there tonight? What else came in the mail? Oh, I did have, oh, this did come in the other day. Finally. The Sunlu filament dryer. So I was going to do a video. I was thinking of doing a live testing of it, but I think I'm just going to do an actual video of it. But it did just come in after their redonkulousness of a Kickstarter. So I'll be talking a lot about that in the video as well when I do it. But definitely it was a wild ride to wait for this thing to show up. I did get another motor in for, I don't know if I'm actually going to get to this project yet. So I did end up getting this DC motor in, which did it not come with leads? It did not. You buggers. So thanks, Gunner. Mostly red and silver, a bit of blue. So I did get this motor in, and this project was debating if I wanted to keep it a secret or not, but I don't think I will, because I don't know if I'll be able to really do it all myself. But I do have a motor controller and this little DC motor. What I want to do is, when I was working on the palette video a while ago on making my own spools of filament with runoff, so this only has a little bit of filament left, I would feed this into the palette, end up making one big spool. But the problem is you have to sit here while it makes everything. So that is kind of the biggest issue, is that I don't have time to stand here. We've got 5 kids and dinner and lunches and breakfasts to do. And I don't want to spend my entire evening standing here spooling filament as it spits it out. And it does it pretty fast. I have a modified firmware from Mosaic on there, so it does run a lot faster, but it still takes a lot of time out of my day. So what I want to do is I want to create a automatic spool winder that is adjustable with a knob. So this DC motor driver has an adjustable knob on it, so I can have this motor run at the right speed to match the output of the pallet. It won't be perfect, but it'll definitely be better than what I have now. So I found a 3D printed enclosure that kind of does what I wanted to do, but I'm going to download that modified to fit the LCD screen, the motor, this motor, and the motor driver control. Get that set up in a place where I can tell the pallet to make filament, put 4 spools in there, have this thing start spooling it, and walk away. That's really what I want to do, because I end up having tons and tons and tons of partial spools. I mean, you see, I've got stacks of spools back here, and at least one of my mixed ones, and there's four low spools just back there. I'd love to consolidate those into one spool, so when I do testing, I can just reuse those spools, that filament. So that is kind of what I want to do with this motor and that driver. I think that'll be a fun little experimental project. See. What are we at here? Oh, yeah, Gunner, thanks, buddy. No, I do not live in the U.S. I'm from there. I do not live there. You're right. I have a sensor that's part of the budget line. Do I print toys for the kids or do I teach them how to print themselves? I have not, none of my kids have shown a huge interest in 3D printing. My oldest has, she's actually done a video with me. She's been in a few, she likes it. But also right now with YouTube and the way, because of the Child Protection Act happened, doing kid content or with the kids in the video, I lose on monetization. I don't do this for the money, but I do it so I make enough money so I can make the videos and you know, have people like you guys, you know, tossing a couple bucks my way so that I can create cool things. And if I don't have any ads, you know, that greatly reduces the amount of money I make a month. So it's kind of why I haven't done that. But do I make toys for the kids? Yes, I do, absolutely. Again, this was for my son. He's been wanting moms for a while, so I just told him I would make him one for his train set to use. He already had it set up upstairs. Again, his nemesis, his younger sister broke it. I've had this rattle for years, literally years. I made this several years ago. The pommel here just broke off, so I need to re-glue that on there. But this has been glued several times. Little rattler. I have the giant one right here, which makes a whole lot of noise. But yes, I do print stuff for the kids all the time if they want something. I've done costumes for them and things like that. So it's always just like, hey, daddy, make this for me. It's never like, hey, can you show me how to make that? So we'll see what, if they ever change their mind or they want to, by all means, I will let them help me and look into stuff. It would be, so one thing that they do is they will, if I'm working in here on some printers, I have the table moved away. I have a lot more room in the office because right now all of my room is taken up by this and the printer on the floor. But they will come in and just kind of sit down and hang out sometimes when I'm working on printers or whatnot. What are you doing, Daddy? And, you know, sometimes they'll want to help out for 2 minutes. Sometimes they don't. So all my kids are also very young. My oldest is only 10. Everyone else is 7 and younger. So it's a very young crowd. They don't really get that much into it. Old guy always has his son in the videos. You talking about Fun King? Because he does it with his son. Jonathan, you can hit me up on Discord. You can ping me on Twitter. We can go to emails, whatever, man. My contact info is down below, so feel free to reach out to me any one of those ways. Discord's probably the easiest because I use Discord the most on my Discord server. And again, there's a link for that down below. And again, anybody else that wants to kind of hang out, chime in, and see what I'm doing or what other people are working on, use that Discord link down below. It's growing quite a lot, and it's really, really awesome to see so much content. There is so much on there that I generally cannot make it through all of it every day, depending on what's going on. Again, today, no internet. I got totally backlogged on it. Didn't get to see what anybody was doing. Yeah, Gunner, that was who you're talking about. But yeah, it's really cool to see what everyone's doing in the Discord, seeing a lot of good stuff. A lot of also really smart people in there. firmware, got firmware people in there, design people. Aaron's one of the design pros, I'd say, that hang out in there all the time. So it's really good to see people like that around and get help as well. We have people with some pretty crazy issues, like my crazy issue. So it's really nice to have a good group of people. All right, Jonathan, good to hear that. All right, well, I think I'm going to call it a night there, guys. That was really, I kind of wanted just to say what was going on here. I didn't really prepare much for tonight. I wasn't really ready. I didn't think my internet was going to come back. I was like, I'm not going to stream. Not going to work out. You do, Aaron. So what I need to send you Master Crane so you can give that the once over and help me with the alignment issue on the Z, because I do know it's still off. But yeah, so tomorrow night will just be the Saturday night hangout. I don't know what I'll cover tomorrow, but we'll kind of see what happens the rest of tonight and tomorrow, what prints I get done and what I'm able to do. If I don't do a video tomorrow, if I don't do a live stream tomorrow, then I definitely will record the A8 Plus review. I need to get the Mingdia D2 back down and finish and do a barrage of test prints on it. I did just the live stream on it. Haven't really done anything else with it yet, but I need to bring it back down here. It's up here somewhere. But you can bring that down, do the full gauntlet of test prints on it, and then do a review on that as well. They seem to be accepting of my criticisms. I sent them an email with some stuff that I think they should change. They said they would look into it. I really hope they do, because that would be really cool for them to make some changes to a almost decent printer. Yeah, that's it for tonight. So join me tomorrow night. If I'm not here, hopefully I'm recording a video instead. But we'll see how things go and what tomorrow has in store. So again, if you guys want to help out with projects like this, a bunch of you are already donating in chat. I greatly appreciate that. But one of the ways to do it is become a patron, as a kind of steady income that I can almost guarantee myself, because everyone's been pretty stable on there. And I can have that money to be able to buy projects like this. Again, this BLV is completely Patreon funded. And I appreciate every one of them that do that. There's also all the affiliate links and discount codes down below. Using any of those will help me buy things. Again, I'm looking on Ally to buy a couple new things, because I've had some commission money on there that I've been sitting on. Like, you know what? Let's go ahead and take it out. Let's buy some stuff, do some projects, and go from there. And I can only do that when you guys help me out. So I greatly, greatly appreciate everything you do. Again, Discord link down below. Check that out. Hope you all have a